Paranerds. I hope your day is going absolutely fantastic, and I welcome you back to the 31 Days of Halloween. We're continuing 31 of my favorite horror films for the month of October. And today, we've got a fun one for you, because today, we're talking about
Something's coming. Something fierce. Something frightening. Something furry. The most popular home video stars of 1986 are back. And Grover's Bend is bursting at the seams with terror. Critters 2, the main course, is coming on video cassette, and your customers will be to get their hands on it.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Critters 1 recently scored high ratings in prime-time syndication across the country, and this blend of high-tech horror and off-the-wall wit is just what they're screaming for. Critters 1 was the appetizer, but they'll break down your doors for Critters 2, the main course. Rolling your way for Halloween, only from RCA, Columbia Pictures Home Video.
Critters 2. Why Critters 2? We'll get into that in a little bit. So, nearly 2 years after the events of the first film, Brad Brown, played by Scott Grimes, returns to Grover's Bend to spend Easter weekend with his grandmother. Leftover Krite eggs that were in the old farm are mistaken for Easter eggs, unleashing the Krites onto the entire town. Ugg, Lee, and Charlie, played by Don Keith Opper, return from space to help Brad, the now retired Sheriff Hard, now played by Barry Corbin in a great role. Brad's crush, Megan, Leanne Curtis, and the rest of the town have to fight to kill the Krites once again. Fun movie. So, why Critters 2 instead of the original, you may ask? To me, this film, it's a lot more fun. There's a lot more Krite action. It had some good comedy. The original is great. D. Wallace Stone in that movie is absolutely fantastic. Scott Grimes, so great. You may now see him in The Orville, and he also voices Steve Smith in American Dad. And he does a great job in this film and the original. But to me, this one, it had so much more action, so much more. It was just more fun movie. The original is great, don't get me wrong, but I tend to like the sequels that are, where they have more fun, more kills, more brutality, and more like mischievous kind of stuff. That's where I that's where it really hits home for me. And this film definitely upped the action in the second film. Some behind the scenes, there's not a lot, so we're gonna get through what we can here on this. Some behind the scenes facts: a cardboard cutout of Freddy Krueger appears in this film, because both Critters 2 and A Nightmare on Elm Street are New Line Cinema properties, and this film was executively produced by Robert Shaye. And he is now also the co-founder, he is also the co-founder of New Line Cinema. So there's a funny little bit where one of the aliens, after taking his form from a Playboy centerfold, which is another funny little bit, she's got a staple in her stomach after she transforms, sees the Freddy cardboard cutout and starts to transform into it. And Charlie, he sees this happening and he's like, no, not Freddy Krueger, good lord, no. And he holds the centerfold in front of the alien and turns back into the Playboy centerfold. Fun little bit. David Tui's first writing credit, he would go on to write films like Waterworld, G.I. Jane, and the Chronicles of Riddick films. That's right, every single one. So started on Critters 2 and went on to do some great films. This film is another one included on film critic Roger Ebert's most hated list. Come on, man, it's Critters 2. What were you expecting? It's not an Academy Award winner. It's probably a well, there's no, I don't think they have Spike Scream Awards or Fangoria Awards anymore. We need a horror award ceremony again. What the fuck happened to those? Sorry, I'm just a little tidbit on my mind. Mick Garris, the director of this film, had wanted to get Frank Welker to the voices of the Krites, but he couldn't afford to get him, which would have been awesome because Frank Welker is a phenomenal voice actor. But fun little thing, Mick Garris ended up doing most of the voices himself and hiring a local loop group to provide additional voices for the critters. So Mick Garris, a lot of that, you just the critters, the and the there is one where the critters actually speak a little bit, and that's Mick Garris himself. And hey, I didn't even know that. So, and like I didn't realize it was the same actor doing all of them. So, or actor, director, it's the same voice doing most of them. So, okay, credit on to you. And unfortunately, that's all the behind the scenes facts that were really super interesting for me to find. And it sucks because it is a fun Critters film. Scott Grimes, Don Kiefer, and Barry Corbin do a fantastic job in this movie. They're so much fun to watch. This movie is so much fun to watch. The effects are done very well, and it's a decent sequel to a great original first film. It had a lot more Krite action, some really funny bits, and I mean like some bits that had me just dying. Again, the Playboy centerfold with the staple in her stomach that she pulls out like a giant staple. That's really funny bit to me. The whole fast food restaurant bit was pretty funny to me. This is a great film. It's a fun way to watch, and I recommend if you're gonna do a Critters, do a marathon. It's the best way to watch these movies. In my opinion, it's the best way to watch these movies. Do a full marathon. It's just a fun way to kill an afternoon. I give this film a solid 3 Krite eggs out of 5. And I ask you, give it a chance. If you're into space alien monster movies, you'll like this movie. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute blast to do these films for you. The fact that I can share some of my passions and some of my favorite movies with you guys, it's been a blast to do. Like, I thought when I first started this, by like day 10 I would be kind of burnt out, but I'm not. I'm having an absolute blast doing these, editing them, filming them. And for you to keep watching, it truly means the world to me. And I'm just doing this for fun. Like, if I can get 1 or 2 people to just find one of these movies and watch it and end up loving them, or even just liking them, I feel like mission accomplished. These movies don't deserve to die. People put time and effort into making these films. They deserve to be watched. They deserve to be loved. Thank you for watching these videos. Thank you for sticking by my endless rambling, my stuttering mistakes, me being a general idiot. Remember, we truly live in a weird world. So go out and experience it. And I'll see you in the next one.